Okay, so hopefully you jotted down some ideas for your author portrait. Don't forget, we're going to start that tomorrow and upload it in class. If you kind of want to get started on it, that's okay, but don't finish it just yet. Don't submit anything. So we are going to finish our book talks this week, and I'm going to do 4 more today, and then we'll finish off by doing the 4 tomorrow. So if you want to bring up your book talk list for me. And the first one, Not If I Save You First, by Allie Carter. Lexile is 670. As the daughter of the president's personal bodyguard, Maddie has lived a privileged life. But her circumstances quickly change when her father is injured saving the president's wife and decides to leave the Secret Service. Moving away from the life she has known in Washington, D.C. to the remote Alaskan wilderness is the last thing Maddie wants, but she has no choice. Worst of all, she has to leave her best friend, the president's son, behind. 6 years later, without a word from Logan in all that time, he suddenly shows up on her doorstep. While Alaska prepares for a dangerous storm, Maddie and Logan are attacked outdoors and Logan is kidnapped. Maddie knows she must try to save the president's son, but will her anger at his long silence get in the way? Okay, not if I save you first. In your book talk, mark a yes, no, or maybe. Okay, it's something interesting to read. Next one, Nowhere Boy, with a Lexile 810 by Catherine Marsh. After fleeing from Syria and losing all of his loved ones, Ahmed is stuck in Brussels, Belgium, with nowhere to go. One open gate leads him to the home of Max, an American boy living in Brussels. Together, the two boys form a friendship as they make plans for Ahmed's new life.
Oh, hey, it's you. Go on in. I can really slow. It's downstairs, this way. I'm Catherine Marsh. In the summer of 2015, I moved with my entire family, and I mean everyone. My husband, my 2 kids, my 80-something-year-old mother, the cat.
Not the chickens.
Okay, not the chickens. We had to leave them behind in Washington, D.C. because of livestock laws. But pretty much everyone else moved to Brussels, Belgium. And we ended up renting this amazing old house built in 1906. The coolest thing of all is behind this little door in the basement. You may have to suffer. We are going down like this. This is the actual wine cellar that inspired Nowhere Boy. I started thinking about it, and I started to wonder what would it be like for a kid to hide out here, especially after I heard the true story of another boy who hid out on this very block. His name was Ralph Mayer. He was a Jewish teenager, a refugee from Nazi Germany. In 1942, a Belgian lawyer named Albert Bernard and his family hid Ralph here in their house, just a few doors down from our own. A neighbor betrayed them, and one June morning in 1943, the Gestapo pounded on their door. Ralph, in an upstairs bedroom ran out of the window and over the roof. As you can see, it's possible, though I won't demonstrate because I'm afraid of heights. In fact, we will demonstrate shortly. Nowhere Boy isn't just about rocks. It's also about two other boys, a Syrian refugee named Ahmed and an American expat named Max. Max's parents sent him to the local French school, and Conde Bonheur is the school captain. It's a pretty unhappy experience though for Max, especially in the beginning when he doesn't speak much French. I should know. I sent my children to Korea at Conde Bonheur. During the Brussels terror attacks, I ran over to the school to pick up my kids. I ended up talking about that experience on the Today Show. But this wasn't the only major news event that made its way to the book. The summer of 2015, when we moved to Brussels, was the height of the refugee crisis. The majority of refugees were escaping war and conflict in Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq. Many of them found themselves camping out here in Park Maximilian. In the beginning of Nowhere Boy, Ahmed also found himself here. The last place I'd like to share with you is our garden. The garden played a really special role in Nowhere Boy. One night, Ahmed finds himself here, and he's in trouble. Ahmed is an unaccompanied minor, meaning he's a child who's traveled the refugee route alone, without his parents. Ahmed tried this story, but you'll have to read Nowhere Boy to find out what happens next. This is not what happens next. Hi, Ellie. So, we had to work our Belgian chickens into this somehow. Oh, wow.
Okay, so Nowhere Boy, does that sound like something that you'd want to read? Yes, no, or maybe. Next, we have The Parker Inheritance by Varian Johnson. The Lexile is 610. And in present-day South Carolina, Candace discovers a letter which could help solve decades-old mystery and save her grandmother's reputation. Teaming up with Brandon, these two will have to put their research skills to work. As the clues unfold, readers will get a glimpse into the past as the narrative switches between points of view.
Hi, my name is Varian Johnson, and I'm excited to talk to you all about The Parker Inheritance, a puzzle mystery largely inspired by my love for Ellen Raskin from Lexington. In this story, we follow Candace Miller and her friend Brandon as they use clues hidden in a long forgotten letter to uncover the fortune supposedly hidden in their small town. But in addition to following Candace and Brandon's journey, the novel also weaves in the story of the Washingtons, an African American family who fell victim to a great injustice almost 60 years before. The Parker Inheritance explores the themes of justice versus forgiveness, the impact of our perceptions and biases, and the importance of preserving the past before it's left away. This novel is also largely inspired by my hometown of Florence, South Carolina, a beautiful city with a strong, vibrant African American community. This is built my heart, written over many years, and I'm so honored and happy to be able to share with you all now.
Okay, sound like something you want to read? Yes, no, or maybe? And finally, we're going to look at The Traitor's Game by Jennifer Nielsen. Lexile is 730. Kester Dalliser's father, being the right-hand man of the powerful king, Lord Endrick, comes with plenty of benefits such as wealth and status. However, it also makes her a valuable pawn in a nasty political game to take down the cruel king. Simon is a rebel who has vowed to do anything to bring down the evil king, even if he's not always happy with the violence and difficult choices it involves. As circumstances bring Kester and Simon together on a secret mission to find the only weapon that can bring down Lord Endrick, their loyalties are challenged and it becomes harder to tell whom to trust in the Traitor's Game.
What is the Traitor's Game? Is it strategy? Or luck? A bit of both, perhaps. Will the smartest win? Or the boldest? Or does the cheater take the prize? This is a game of trust, a constant clash
clash of believe and deceive. The stakes are high, and the winner takes all. Lose the game, lose your life. Your move.
All right, so the Trader's Game sound like something you want to read? Yes, no, or maybe. Okay, and to end it, vocab review. You'll have to know what to do tomorrow, or remember these. It will show me if you watched the video or not. What is a mentor text? What does imitate mean? And what is success criteria? Know those things when you come to class tomorrow. And hopefully you guys have a